He wasn't even his high school's starting quarterback. He punted. He played safety. And now this same overlooked kid is generating legitimate NFL draft buzz just 1 year removed from a similar story that ended with a Heisman Trophy and the #1 overall pick. This is the incredible rise of Drew Mestemaker, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why scouts can't stop talking about him. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating breakout quarterback stories in college football right now, Oklahoma State's Drew Mestemaker, and the growing question of whether he's the next Fernando Mendoza. Let's get into it. To understand why this comparison even exists, we have to go back to Mendoza's own unlikely path. A former three-star recruit out of Christopher Columbus High School in Miami, Mendoza won over the hearts of college football fans last season by leading the Indiana Hoosiers to their first-ever national championship and taking home the Heisman Trophy. That magical run culminated with the Las Vegas Raiders selecting him first overall in the 2026 NFL Draft. Now here's where things get wild. Mestemaker's journey is actually even more unlikely than Mendoza's. He wasn't the starting quarterback at his own high school. At Vandegrift High School in Austin, he punted, played safety, and served purely as a backup quarterback. Somebody clearly missed on this kid. After finally earning the starting job for the North Texas Eagles in 2025, the former walk-on exploded onto the scene. He tied for second in the entire country in passing touchdowns with 34, and he ranked first nationally in passing yards with 4,379. When his head coach Eric Morris left North Texas for Oklahoma State, Mestemaker followed him, and NFL scouts have been watching closely ever since. So let's talk about the actual buzz. On Thursday, The Athletic's Dane Brugler published his preseason quarterback rankings for the 2027 NFL Draft, and he slotted Mestemaker at number 4, right behind C.J. Carr of Notre Dame, Dante Moore of Oregon, and Arch Manning of Texas. Here's the kicker. Before the 2025 season even started, Brugler had Fernando Mendoza ranked at that exact same spot. That's not a coincidence people are ignoring. Now, not everyone in the scouting community is quite as high on him. NFL Mock Draft Database, which aggregates rankings across multiple scouts, currently lists Mestemaker as just the 7th best quarterback in the class. So there's definitely a range of opinions here. Physically, it's easy to see why the Mendoza comparisons keep coming up. Mestemaker stands 6'3" and weighs 215 pounds, while Mendoza is 6'5" and 225 pounds. Both are tall, accurate pocket passers with enough athleticism to extend plays when needed. Brugler himself described Mestemaker as a tall, fluid passer operating in an up-tempo air raid system who isn't afraid to push the ball down the field. So is this settled? Is Mestemaker officially the next Mendoza? Not so fast. There are some real gaps that need to close first. Experience matters a lot in these projections, and right now, Mestemaker simply doesn't have as much of it. He's only started 15 games across 2 seasons at North Texas, completing 349 of 509 passes for a 68.6 completion percentage. Mendoza, by comparison, started 35 games between Indiana and California, completing 691 of 1,008 attempts, at that exact same 68.6 percentage. Same efficiency, but a massive gap in total starts and proven reps. There's also the program factor to consider. Mestemaker will be playing in a Power 4 conference for the very first time in 2026, and he's doing it for a team that isn't exactly built to contend. Oklahoma State went just 1-11 in 2025, and even with Mestemaker under center, the Cowboys aren't projected to make a dramatic leap. As of Thursday, DraftKings Sportsbook has Oklahoma State's odds to win the Big 12 sitting at plus 2,900. Compare that to Mendoza's situation at Indiana, led by head coach Curt Cignetti, who went an absurd 27-2 in his first 2 seasons running that program. That's an enormous difference in team-level success and supporting cast. So where does that leave Mestemaker? He should generate even more buzz this season now that he's playing for a bigger program, but expecting him to match Mendoza's meteoric rise right away is probably unrealistic. He genuinely needs more reps and more team success to become a legitimate top-of-the-draft prospect. If Oklahoma State doesn't take a major step forward in 2026, staying in school and declaring in 2028, when the quarterback class is expected to be less stacked, could actually be his smartest move. Either way, this is a name worth remembering. Mestemaker has already overcome long odds just to get to this point, and if he keeps trending upward, he could absolutely become the next great underdog draft story, just like Mendoza before him. So what do you think? Does Drew Mestemaker live up to this early hype, or does he need another year or two to fully develop? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more college football and NFL draft coverage, and I'll see you in the next video.